Protecting your dog's eyes while traveling in the car is incredibly important because they don't know enough not to stare directly at the sun. So let me break down 3 easy ways that you can be doing this while you're traveling. The first is this adorable little hat. As you can see, it's got a little bill in the front, a very short back, holes for the ears, and then you can tighten that little cord right there so that it protects them while you are traveling and it does not fall off. So if your dog cooperates and doesn't do this, you actually have the ability to just pull their ears right through it. I'm gonna sit her up in just a second. And you can see how that goes right on, and then you just zip this up a little bit higher so that it can easily stay on your dog's head. It can move around. It does move just a little bit, so it depends on how you're going to be putting it on. I definitely recommend paying attention to where this is and then sizing up if you need to, but this is a really good option for your dogs if they're just traveling in the car. Usually they have to tip really far back for it to be in their eyes, but it's a pretty good option for protecting those eyes while you are traveling in the car. The next option is to actually give your dog a pair of sunglasses. These are just child-sized glasses, and there is a little attachment. These are actually made for adults, and it zips it up and down depending on the size of the head. So you can use these for yourself if you want. It comes in a pack of several, and then all you have to do is put this over your dog's head and loop their ears through it, and then you are just going to tighten that up, and it looks a little something like this when you put it on properly. And they can then wear these while you are traveling. I don't recommend this for long periods of time because it does sit on their nose, but that little tie in the back does keep it on their head pretty well. So if you're going to be working with hats and sunglasses or just hat, those give you some really good options. The third option is to actually get a screen protector for your window. Now there's tons of different options. That's going to be different car to car. So you need to measure the size of your window and then do your research. They have ones that will cling to your window. They have ones that are kind of retractable, so they'll fold up and then they'll just pop out and just have that tension there to stay in your window. They also have a version that's kind of like a sock that you put over it. So it goes on the outside of the car door or outside of the window, and then you close that door over, you roll that window up, and it's just that stocking effect right there, depending on what type you need or what type is going to work best. Sometimes they even have like little patches of it, so if you don't want it for the entire window, you can get a square or a rectangle and just attach it to that window and block that section to then protect your dog's eyes. It's important to make sure that you are protecting your dog's eyes while you travel, so whether you are going with some type of hat or sunglasses for your dog or a shade for your windows, you want to make sure, especially on longer travel, that you are protecting their eyes, especially if you are not going to be sitting in the back seat with them, or if they're in a kennel or something like that. You want to make sure that you have the ability to cover their eyes and keep those protected so that they are not blinding themselves or damaging their sight while they're traveling in the car with you, because they just don't know enough not to stare directly at the sun. It's a Taylor Swift song in the making. So making sure that you are adequately taking care of them while you are traveling is going to be a big help. I do recommend, if you are using the hat option or the sunglass option, that you are practicing with these in your house before you get into the car to make sure that they are comfortable with it, make sure it's not hurting them in any way, you understand how to put it on, how to adjust it, and make sure that it is the proper sizing so that it doesn't fall in front of their faces or go back too far, depending on what you're going to be doing. So test it out first, then test it on some short trips, then use it on your longer trips as well, and make sure it's going to be the safest and most practical for your dogs. As always, if you are doing traveling and you want to make sure that your dogs are protected, check with your vet. They're going to have the best information on things like protecting their eyes, on kenneling them, or using seatbelts and harnesses and all of those things to help you make the best choices for your dog while you are traveling. If you've got questions on dog travel tips, go ahead and drop those down below, and we'll be back for upcoming episodes to make sure that you are safe, protected, and happy while you are traveling with your dogs and growing with your dogs as you are training them and going through the entirety of your relationship with your dogs throughout their entire life. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.